And we are back. It's the Elysabeth Alfano Show on WCGO. As promised, everybody, we are going to go through our tips and tricks of what we do in the kitchen to keep it easy, to keep it fast, so that your recipes are always tasty, but also maybe not high in calories, and also what you need to kind of make your cooking go fast. I'll start with you, AJ. Maybe we can take turns. I'll start with you. What's your number one tip in the kitchen?
Water is free.
Oh, good girl.
I mean, well, unless you're paying for something. But what I'm trying to say is, if your recipes are really flavorful enough, and I believe many of mine are, boxed broth is expensive. And you've got the packaging, you got to think of the environment. So what I say is you can use water for almost every place you use broth, unless you're drinking it as a beverage, or you can make your own broth from scraps. It's so easy to do that in your Instant Pot. And instead of paying up to $4 a carton, it's free.
I'm going to riff on that and say you are so right. I use mushroom broth all the time, and I get it in a carton box because I maybe don't have mushrooms on hand to make mushroom broth, but water and mushrooms make mushroom broth, and it's even better, to tell you the truth, because you don't have to add all
mushroom powder to get that flavor.
Mushroom powder. Ooh, what a great tip. Yep. What a great tip. Well, I'm going to riff on that, because my number 2 tip then is use broth, hopefully that you've made yourself, with some water instead of extra virgin olive oil or whatever oil you're cooking with. You want to cut down on the calories. You can do that with some savory broth, and you can just, cut your calorie count usually almost by 2/3 if you cut out the oil, right, Chef AJ?
Maybe more than that, because oil's 4,000 calories a pound. It's 130 calories a tablespoon. Water is 0. Broth is almost negligible. So yeah, I would say even more than 2/3. I'd say almost 90.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I don't know if you were going to use this as one of your top tips, so I hope I'm not giving away a secret, but another way is to do an air fryer. You can
I love air fryers.
Air fryers. Yes, I do sweet potatoes in the air fryer, and it just cuts out all the oil, and I get my crispy sweet potatoes.
They're so crunchy, and they're so good.
Yes, so wonderful. Okay, do you have a tip 3?
Yeah. So, measure stuff in advance. And by that, I mean, I don't know very many, unless people are eating every meal at a restaurant. Most people have their favorites that they repeat for themselves or their family over and over. And it's usually something like 5 to 10 meals. So for example, we love my cauliflower bisque recipe. We eat it every week. So instead of measuring all the spices every time I make it, every time a spice jar gets empty, I wash it in the dishwasher. I put a little piece of tape on it. So this one says cauliflower bisque. And then I'll do maybe 6, 7, as many jars as I have. And so then when I make the different recipes, red lentil chili, black bean mushroom chili, I don't have to measure it every single time. It's done for me.
Wow. So you would use that much in a curry?
Well, no. The cauliflower bisque recipe I'm trying to think what's in it. It's got 2 tablespoons Benson's Table Tasty, 2 tablespoons dill, a tablespoon of smoked paprika, half a teaspoon of chipotle powder, 4 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. It will all be in here.
I see what you're saying.
For the individual soup, and then boom. And then if people, you can buy these for 69 cents at Bed Bath.
Yes.
So I have probably 50 of them because of spices. And then I have a little jar party every 3 months, and it just makes it so much easier because I don't have to measure.
Yes. I see what you're saying. So this is really a time saver. This is really great. I hope you guys are getting your tips down, because I'm getting these tips too, which is so great. I'm going to start doing that, measuring out all my spices in advance, so that when I go to cook, it'll just be like, okay, rice, spices, let's move this party on, which is great. Okay. I'm going to say scissors. Scissors are my handy tool in the kitchen. And a lot of people don't think of scissors and how they can be handy in the kitchen, but it's often much easier than a knife. So I use, sometimes packaging is hard to open, etc. A handy scissors is just going to snip right off, and it's going to save me lots of time. So I like to have several pairs of scissors handy in the kitchen.
Nice. Well, my tip number 4 is a potato bag. Now, this one is the Potato Express, and you can get it at Walmart for like $5, but all different companies make them now. As a matter of fact, I just got one with a potato pattern for Mary McDougal for her birthday. So what this can do is, and these are also great for travel. If you have a microwave in your hotel room, you could very quickly microwave a potato or a sweet potato. These are great for tortillas to keep them warm. And if you're traveling or taking a little snack with you, instead of stopping at Wendy's, you've got your baked potato here. easier. So I love these for just quick, like, if I'm batch cooking, it's one thing, but let's say, I don't know, I'm making a recipe like a curry and it called for like 1 or 2 those potatoes. I don't want to sit there for an hour and turn on the oven, especially living in the desert. So these little potato bags can be great.
So just help me out so I understand. The potato bag cuts down on time, or
Yes,
it's also just a travel
it's
bag?
microwave. It cuts down on time cooking in the microwave, and it will keep it warm too. And
Oh,
so it's so, like, let's say you're having fajitas. There's, I forget the name of that Mexican. Is it a comal or something that keeps the tortillas
oh
warm?
yes.
Well,
Mhm.
this will work for corn tortillas as well. So it'll keep
Oh,
it warm. So it's just, and it's a great way to microwave things. It's just, you don't need a plate. It's just, I don't know. They're kind of cool. This one's
that's
obviously
awesome.
old. Yeah.
That's awesome. And sweet potatoes, of course, go in there. Okay, so my number, I guess it would be number 6 now, is date syrup. Ooh, because I'm a sweet person. I love sweet. And date syrup is going to be a low glycemic food. It's going to have fiber in it. It's basically waters and dates that have been simmered down together. So I switched from maple syrup whenever I need to add a little something sweet to a recipe. Date syrup, my go-to. Thank you, Dr. Greger. I love you for that tip, and I haven't gotten over it since. Okay, what is your number? I guess it would be 7.
7.
Your next one.
Flavored vinegars. So these, I was telling you, we're going to get you 2 samples of my favorite. These are so versatile, especially for somebody that is either avoiding oil, salt, or both, because these are SOS free. Any sugar in these are from the grapes, and it's naturally occurring. These can be used if you don't feel like making a stir fry sauce. These flavors like curry, teriyaki, Gilroy garlic. This is so potent. This stuff. A couple of tablespoons. You can use these. There's other flavors that can be used instead of salad dressings, like the lemon or the garden dill, and they're just. And again, it doesn't have to be this company. I happen to like this company because I love these bottles, because these go through TSA. They're 3 ounces, and you can get multiples of these. And you can open up a whole world of possibility with these flavored vinegars. There's most of the companies that sell them have 30 or more flavors. The sweet flavors like the lemon and the peach can be used to make Italian soda without sugar. So I actually have 2 or 3 videos on my YouTube page just cooking with vinegars. They're so versatile. They're time savers. And they're just absolutely delicious.
Oh, I can't wait to get my hands on that. That is such a great tip, flavored vinegars. Okay, my next tip is when you have a can of garbanzo beans and you drain the beans, hold on to the aquafaba, as it's called. Hold on to that liquid. Oh my God, because it is liquid gold. And so when you go to make your salad dressing, I like to make a vinaigrette that's heavy on Dijon mustard, some red wine vinegar, salt and pepper, and aquafaba, the liquid from the garbanzo bean can. It cuts down on all the oil. It's really similar in taste. I want to say it's almost a 1-for-1 match, and it is fast like all salad dressings, but it's healthy. And so hold on to that aquafaba.
Nice.
That's my number 8. What's your number 9?
Well, my number 9 should have probably been my number 1. Instant Pot, baby. An Instant Pot electric pressure cooker.
Yeah.
Even people, I don't think somebody would come to me that wasn't vegan asking for help, but I would even say this to them. You will save so much time and so much money in the long run, because things like beans are like free, because they're, you buy them in bulk for 49 cents a pound. It's like ethnic markets. And, a can of beans, it's great. Canned beans are great, but they can be $1, $2, $3. With the Instant Pot, you can cook beans in 10 minutes if you soak them, and grains and artichokes in 7 minutes, and corn on the cob in 3 minutes, and steel cut oats in 5 minutes. You just save so much time, and it's such an easy way to cook with an electric pressure cooker versus the stovetop one, because like if you're like me and you have a dog, you can just throw all your ingredients for dinner, take your bubble bath, take your dog for a walk, you come back, dinner's ready. And that's really how I cook. And it's hard because I did go to culinary school, but I didn't know about a pressure cooker then. Now I would just say, save my money, because that's all I use is my pressure cooker and my rice cooker and my air fryer.
Yeah, I love that you say this, because it's all about, I cook like this too. It's all about saving time. So I do a lot of things where I put it in the oven, and then I go take a shower. I, spend some time, I do some gardening. I come back in, I'm like, oh, great, dinner's made, because, cooking was so hard while I was gardening outside. So I love the idea of an Instapot. It's just great. Of course, everyone has to get one under their belt. Basically, you never leave college with an Instapot. You've always got your Instapot with you, which is so great. I'm going to add to that, because you talked about air fryers. Now we're talking about Instapots. I'm going to add to that air air popcorn maker. I love those. It's a way to keep calories down. I do air popped popcorn with Bragg's amino acids and some nutritional yeast, and it is my go-to. It's a great snack. It's no extra virgin olive oil, certainly, gosh, no butter. Oh my word! But it takes that used to be very junky snack for me, and it makes it very nutritious and healthy and low on calories. So it kills me that we are going to have to go. But Chef AJ, I want to thank you so much for being with me.
Oh, this was fun.
It is fun. And everybody, of course, you've got your marching orders. You're going to chefajwebsite.com. You have a book coming out very shortly. Or no, I think it's actually already out.
I have 2 books out, Unprocessed and The Secrets to Ultimate Weight Loss. But in the fall, I wrote 75 recipes for a book by Glenn Mercer, who co-wrote The Mad Cowboy with Howard Lyman, called Own Your Health. So there'll be some new delicious recipes for people to try.
I hope that you will come back.
I'd love to.
It's the Elysabeth Alfano Show on WCGO. Everyone, I will see you next Sunday.